Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we'll be diving into the world of Django, which is one of the most popular tools used in Python web development. And in this video, you'll be learning features and philosophy of Django, reward use of Django, and why you should choose Django. So let's get into it. And the first thing is, what is Django? Django is a high-level web framework written in Python. And when we say a framework is like a tool now that it gives you ready-made components so that you don't have to build everything from scratch. So a framework is just a tool that speed up the process of you washing, just like a washing machine that speed up you washing clothes, so you don't have to wash your clothes yourself or with your hands or from scratch in that sense. So with Django, you can build websites, web applications faster and more securely in a very structured way. That is what Django provides for you. And okay, now if you now look at these things, what are some of the features of Django? So why do developers like Django so much, and what makes Django stand out? So we are going to be talking about the key features and why developers love Django. Alright, so the first thing is authentication and security. So here now, developers like Django because it provides a good support for authentication and security, handles password logins, password, and protection against common attacks. So it has a huge community and a huge backing when it comes to protecting your website or your web application against web attack itself. The next feature is scalability. Django is very good for building powerful application. So you can use a framework to power both small projects and large platforms. So it means when your project is small, Django can handle it quite right. And when you are growing with bigger audience into bigger things, Django can still handle your store, your e-commerce store, or your project itself. And many big companies out there that we're going to look into in few seconds now or minutes from now uses Django. The third one is ORM. This makes working with database easier by using Python code instead of raw SQL code. So with most most backend languages, you have to use a raw SQL code. But with object relation mapper, when you're using Django, you can easily map your OOP, which is your classes, where your class represents a table in the database, and the attribute, which is the variables you have under this class, represents a column, which is the attribute of the database, which is the field in the database itself. So Django provides that ORM, object relational mapper, out of the box for you, which you don't have to wrap your head around raw SQL anymore. The next thing is built-in admin panel, and I love this so much. Automatically generated to help you manage your apps. You just have a full admin panel that is generated for you to help you manage your apps in every way you need it. That is one of the best things about Django, this built-in admin panel. I love that so much. And you can even customize this admin to work in the way you want it to work. So other languages, if you want an admin panel, you might have to other frameworks actually and languages, you might have to build it yourself. But Django came with one right out of the box for you. And what is the philosophy of Django? There's this principle called dry principle, which is don't repeat yourself principle. Django follows this principle, and this is one of the core features of Django itself. So this means you spend less time writing repetitive code and more time focusing on your project unique features. With this principle, you don't have to repeat what you've written before. You can just like when you're using OOP, right? Object-oriented programming. If you don't know much about OOP, go ahead to go and watch my videos, my playlist on object-oriented programming with Python. You need it before we dive into Django and coding aspect of Django. So do it to go and watch that. Okay, alright. So do it to watch that. And what are the real world companies that use this? So Django isn't just for beginners. It is trusted by some of the biggest companies right here in the world. Right? So you should know that. So Instagram uses Django. Yes, Instagram. The one you are not able to use. Instagram uses Django. Pinterest uses Django. Yes, Pinterest uses Django. Then we have Mozilla, which is Firefox, and Discord too also uses Django. These are platforms that handle millions of users. So this is to tell you that Django is battle tested and highly reliable. So there are companies out there that want to use Django for their projects. There are companies out there that want to use Django to enforce their projects. So now you know that Django is this. Yes, Django has some features, RAM, admin panel, authentications and login, scalability. You see companies that use Django like Instagram, Pinterest, Mozilla, and Discord. But why should you choose Django? And here I will tell you, Django is great for rapid development. If you want something fast, yeah, there are frameworks that are faster than Django. Yes, maybe. Yeah, but Django is great for rapid development, something fast. It has some tools out of the box for you. It has a huge support community whereby you can just go to their repository, clone an app that will give you your future right out of the box. There's an admin panel for you supported, and it enforces clean project structure. So Django makes sure that your project is well structured at every point in time. By structuring your project into apps, don't worry if you don't understand this, you are going into Django very soon. Don't forget to watch our tutorial on Django. So we're going into Django very soon and you will see how it works. And it has a huge community, which is what I've said earlier. It has a huge community, which means you have resources, not just resources, you have apps, right? Apps that you can use, which is like features you can use and just implement in your own. You don't have to build your dedication from scratch. Except that Django has some built-in feature. You can still go outside there, check someone else's features built and deployed and use theirs instead. And it has a lot of built-in features. Like Django is future packed. Django is just like that truck that can carry your load and everything you need. Every package you need, Django has it for you. And going back to this community, if you got stuck at anything, you can easily find your answers. Yes, yes, on AI, because AI has fed a lot of information ready enough from Stack Overflow, from forums that can give you your answers itself. And you see a lot of Django projects on GitHub that you can learn from and improve on. A lot of courses and YouTube videos available on Django. And it is easy to learn. Why would I say it is easy to learn? Since Django is Python based and Python is one of the easiest language to learn, Django is also easy to learn. Once you are familiar with Python, I can easily say you already know 50% of Django. Just go into Django and start learning. So yeah, let's start learning Python now. So to wrap this up, Django is a Python powerhouse for web framework. It helps to build anything from personal blog to full social media platform. It is faster, safer, and just cleaner. And if you like to break down Django step by step, let's start setting up your first app start setting up your first app and let's start doing things. So yes, don't forget to like and subscribe to the videos as we'll be posting more videos on Django and we'll be building our first project together with Python and Django. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye.